It's going to be a good time.
We're gonna say to Nana.
Happy birthday, Nana.
That's it?
I don't know what. Let me see myself.
To today's event. Many of you have been to various Wilkins family gatherings over the years, for Mom's other birthday milestones, for graduation parties, for weddings, for Glenn's 40th birthday party celebration just a few years ago, and many more. This year we decided to take it up a notch and move the party out of Mom's backyard and into this lovely hall so we could accommodate more of you, and also we wouldn't have to brave the elements, which today is not a problem, but a few weeks ago it might have been when we had 2 weeks of snow, 2 feet of snow. But I want to thank you, all of you, for coming and for helping making our day today so very special. We are fortunate to be here today to celebrate Mom's 80th birthday with you, and all in all, Mom is in very good health and spirits. Sure, she's got some of the usual things that come with older age. Some knee and hip discomfort, a little high blood pressure that she manages with her medication, and a few body parts sagging and everything. But all part of having given birth to 4 children.
I have an excuse.
But all in all, she's still going strong. And I like to think of her as being very well preserved. In fact, Mom, you just keep getting better and better. Sorry. We've assembled an afternoon entertainment to help us celebrate Irene Wilkins, our mother, grandmother, sister, neighbor, and friend. We hope you'll sit back and enjoy and participate when called upon to join us in song, and know that you are a very important part of the fabric of Irene's life and of the lives of all of us in our family. So, without further ado, I'd like to invite up a man that needs no introduction to this group.
But he likes to hear his name, so you better go ahead.
His mother and aunt were friends of my dad's growing up in Morrisville, and though we as children grew up on the east and west sides of Fairwood Parkway, our family ties have only deepened over the years. So I'd like to welcome John Julian to say a few words.
Thank you, Val. That was lovely. Absolutely. Irene, it's hard for me to sit here, or stand here, and think about you turning 80. I mean, that's a number that doesn't mean anything to me when I think about you. And you know, normally I might stand here and sort of talk off the cuff about all the things that have happened with you know, our families and your children and me, sort of just speak extemporaneously. However, my concern would be that certain memories and recollections might come out that probably shouldn't here on this occasion. So I have written a few things down. So you'll have to forgive me. But to Irene Wilkins on the occasion of her 80th birthday. I've known Irene Wilkins for greater than 45 years. Her oldest son and I played together in their sandbox on Wilkins Street when we were around 3 or 4. I still have an image of you in my mind and that sandbox, actually. What people in my business call a screen memory, actually. But if that was one of my earliest memories, what has followed over the last 45 years are a collection of memories of truly one of the kindest, most thoughtful, generous, and funny ladies I have had the honor to call my second mother. Now, in all fairness, there are a few people in this room who could call Irene their second mother, right? Because when we were growing up, I think about my own kids today. When we were growing up, there were no play dates or after-school programs, right? We would get on our bikes in the morning in the neighborhood, and Beth and I were talking about this earlier, and we'd be off for the day. Now, in those days, there was always the one neighborhood sort of central house where all the kids gathered, right? And that was Irene's, that was the Wilkins house. It was sort of located centrally in the neighborhood, and I think emotionally it was located centrally in the hearts of the neighborhood, right? So all the kids would gather there pretty much every day to sort of plan out the day's adventures and what we would be doing that day. And going into that house, it was just such a wonderful place because it was always welcoming, the door was always open, and Irene was always available there to have snacks or cold water. I still remember, was it the old Nescafe jars of cold water that you would stock in the fridge, and we'd kind of run in and grab some water and then run out, right? Yes, I know. There wasn't any worry, no communicable diseases in those days, right? We didn't worry about that stuff. And even if it wasn't for some level of sustenance, maybe it was just to sit and shoot the breeze and to sort of talk about what was going on in your life or what was going on as we got older and, talk more about those things in the school or what was going on in the neighborhood. And those memories, I'm sure all your kids have them, and I certainly do, and it really warms your heart to think back. You had more kids running through your house in a given summer, I think, than most schools did. You really did. And though I'm talking about those memories, I have to say that I really have had more laughs and good times at your house, not just in the early childhood years, but all the way through high school and college and graduate school. And I know you're going to put the crack about how much school I've had, so I just thought I'd get that in early, all right? But it was always a welcoming place, and I think there will be more memories there than I could ever recall. To me, those days and those memories really embody who you are. It's like an artist. They're a collection of your life's work. Not the whole collection, obviously. There was certainly time before all of us, right? Some of the pictures out front, were really great. I got a kick out of a lot of those pictures that they put up for you. You had your days growing up on the farm in New Hampshire, right? And your sister here today, and those are some interesting stories that I've talked to her about. Your days at Keene State, right? Wasn't it Keene State, right? And your career as a teacher of home economics. I don't know how many people, was it home economics, right? Yeah, right. I don't know how many people know that. And of course, there was time with Glenn, as Val mentioned, your husband Glenn, a wonderful man, a very dear friend of my aunt's, and a wonderful man. I still, I think I showed you that, Colin. I still have a wooden gun that he carved for me over at the house. Again, the memories, it's incredible. And of course, later on, things like your golfing days, right? You would cut quite a striking image on the links of how about your time as a Girl Scout leader? I can remember you running Girl Scout camp, right? For a lot of summers in a row there. I don't know how many people realize that. And of course, your years of volunteering up at Copley Hospital, right? And I don't know how many years you've been up there now, but it's been a few, right? Again, sort of a career of giving. I mean, really, it really has been. And of course, your grandchildren now, right? Continuing to further your legacy. So when I think about you turning 80, as I said, that number just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me with you. But as I consider that, I consider the days and the memories that I have of you really a testament to just how wonderful you are. And if I could leave a legacy half as influential as you have for both myself and I think your children and many children in the neighborhood, I would certainly consider that satisfaction of a life well lived. And I think you certainly should. So as you go forward on your journey, know that you have made a difference in this world in a wonderfully positive way. You will have my love and gratitude forever. God bless.
I chose to hopefully sing a song to Mom, a song that is called Perhaps Love by John Denver. It's not one of his foot stomping, heart throbbing favorites that we might all remember, but the words really express meaning about what I wanted to say to Mom, to Irene. In this song, John Denver begins by suggesting perhaps love is various places and ideas in our lives. And he begins with these lines. Excuse me. Don't take pictures of me. He says, perhaps love is like a resting place, a shelter from the storm. It exists to give you comfort. It is there to keep you warm. Growing up a Wilkins kid at Wilkins Central, as John said, on Fairwood Parkway East, was truly a special thing. Our home, as John said, due mostly to the presence of Irene, our open and nurturing and loving mother, had an open door policy, truly a revolving door, like one you would find in a department store. Arthur, you need to work on putting that revolving door in there. Neighborhood kids constantly shuffling in and out, taking a chug from the Nescafe jar, as was said, shooting the breeze for a few moments with Ma Wilkins, to get a much-needed Band-Aid for a bloody finger or a bloody knee, or to ask Irene for just the right link or chink or puzzle piece that was needed. She would just know exactly where that piece was. It was usually in our little drawer. Each of us had a special drawer in this desk that when we walked into the front door, there was a drawer for each one of us kids. And Mom or Irene would intuitively know just where that piece was and where to find it. And it was amazing. To this day, she knows exactly where that piece is still. Neighborhood kids would dash out of the house as quickly and confidently as they dashed in, always with a big grin and a feeling of confidence and comfort. They would always know just what it was that they were looking for and just where they would find it. And when they left, there was unconditional love etched on their hearts. John Denver's song continues, quote, perhaps love is like a window, perhaps an open door. At that kitchen window, you'll see Irene still standing, but rest assured she's not just gawking at you. Her hands are always busy, either preparing a meal or usually cleaning up after one. Her hands are usually in the kitchen sink. Our house never had a dishwasher and still doesn't. When I asked about that, I was told that our father, Dad, decided that that's why there was 4 children. Mom's wave and her smile from that kitchen window, and yes, her occasional gawk, is what seems to keep her the informed and loving and caring neighbor that she is today. One of the fondest and funnest memories I have of early adolescence with some of my girlfriends that are here, that's here, little Sharon's here today, is that they would ask if they could adopt my mom when it came time to of this song, John Denver speaks of love is like the ocean, full of conflict and full of change. And Mom has always been drawn to the ocean. From her earliest memories of visits to the ocean with her beloved mother, who was born in Port Medway, Nova Scotia, to the many trips back over her lifetime, she continues to yearn for the ocean and the peace and the joy that it brings to her soul. Today is a tribute to my mom, our mother, and to the honor and the love to this most beautiful and dedicated woman that I know. I'd like to first read the words of the song to you in case I don't get through it as a song, and say thank you, Mom, for all the love and the support that you've given to me and to our siblings, my siblings throughout the years, and to all these beautiful people here today. Okay, so this is John Denver's song, Perhaps Love. Yeah.
Sing it.
Okay, so it says, perhaps love is like a resting place, a shelter from the storm. It exists to give you comfort, it is there to keep you warm. And in those times of trouble, when you are most alone, the memory of love will bring you home. Perhaps love is like a window, perhaps an open door. It invites you to come closer, it wants to show you more. And even if you lose yourself and don't know what to do, the memory of love will see you through. A love to some is like a cloud, to some is strong as steel, for some a way of living, for some a way to feel. And some say love is holding on, and some say letting go, and some say love is everything, and some say they don't know. Perhaps love is like the ocean, full of conflict, full of change, like a fire when it's cold outside, or thunder when it rains. If I could live forever and all my dreams come true, my memories of love will be of you. Okay, let's try this. If you know the song, sing along. I tried to play it also by myself, which... Oh. Perhaps love is like a resting place, a shelter from the storm. It exists to give you comfort. It is there to keep you warm. And in those times of trouble, when you are lost alone, the memory of love will bring you home. Perhaps love is like a window, perhaps an open door. It invites you to come closer. It wants to show you love. And even if you lose yourself and don't know what to do, the memory of love will see you through. Oh, love to some is like a cloud, to some as strong as steel, for some a way of living, for some a way to feel. And some say love is holding on, and some say letting go. And some say love is everything, and some say they don't know. Thank you.
Not a participant, as John was. Irene, it is a pleasant privilege to stand before you today and recall memories of the 38 years Arthur, Adrian, and I have lived diagonally across the street from the Wilkins family. I drive by the Wilkins home every morning and night, going to work at Arthur's department store. Going back to the 70s, I remember the Wilkins home as the citadel, that's what I called it, for the neighborhood kids, where Irene reigned as mother, confessor, teacher, and friend. She was the rock that was always there. Having 4 children, each one had particular neighborhood friends. Colin had the older guys. Valerie had Sherry Osborne and Laura Freeman, who, although she didn't live in the neighborhood, seemed to find herself at Irene's quite often. Glenn had our Adrian, and to be kind, many of Colin's big guys became friends as well. I remember Laurie, with her sweet smile, who was loved by all. Daily treks to the Blowers Pond were a great way to enjoy a sunny summer day. Betty Lou often told me it wouldn't be fun for Kevin and Karen to swim alone. So there was an open invitation for Jenny Haggerty, Val, Glenn, and Adrian. Many other friends joined them too. All the kids had bikes, and Adrian had the John Deere riding tractor that so many kids helped her mow our lawn. When Irene became a widow in 1976, more kids came to fill her days. Irene also had phone calls from so many neighbors: Norma Wakefield, Dale Kelly, Rita Patton, Sue Osborne, Rena and Jenny, and Carolyn Hale, who moved into Norma Anderson's, where many a game was played on the lawn by the kids. A personal friend of Norma's recently called me to say that Norma passed away Christmas of 2009. A magnificent credit to Irene. All 4 of her children went to college. But Laurie is the one who followed in Mom's footsteps and became a teacher. Although she lives and works in New Hampshire, Laurie and her 2 children often visit home. I was so proud and humbled when Valerie walked over to my home and asked me to listen and critique her valedictorian speech for the PA graduation class of 1982. Go, girl. Bringing up, you know what we gave her? We gave her an unabridged dictionary. Oh boy, hasn't IT taken us somewhere else, huh? Bringing up children, we belong to the Fairwood Parkway neighborhood family, and Mrs. Wilkins was the undisputed mom of the neighborhood. On the first Monday evening of September to May, on many a cold and wintry night, Irene, Jane Green, Rita Patton, Sonny Sanborn, and I piled into my car and headed to the library, thanks Mary West, for our Morrisville Women's Club meetings. Irene was the social secretary who never forgot to send a sympathy card or a get well card to a neighbor. Irene also joined the RIF program, Reading is Fundamental, represented by the Morrisville Women's Club, and we gave a book to each student from K through 5th grade. The Women's Club disbanded in 2008 after 100 years of service to the Morrisville community. Today, members still get together twice a year for social times and lunch. It's still fun to see each other. Just last week, a younger guy stopped at Arthur's looking for a mausoleum in one of Morrisville's cemeteries. A mausoleum, I said. Oh, I know just who to call. Irene said, quote, it must be at Pleasant View Cemetery since we have only 2 mausoleums at the 7 cemeteries I watch over, and we don't have that particular family name he is looking for, end quote. how many of us here have intimate knowledge of Morrisville Cemetery? I never knew there are 8 cemeteries in our town. Irene and my next-door neighbor, Jack Brown, were golfing buddies for many years. They played at the Copley Country Club every sunny weekday. I learned that Jack shared his copy of the Burlington Free Press daily with Irene after reading it at the ungodly hour of 4 a.m. Irene and Jack maintained a lifetime friendship. He passed in March 2009. 25 years ago, Irene joined the Copley Hospital Legion of Volunteers and can be seen there today at the information desk or at the gift shop with a smile and a kind word to visitors. The grapevine tells me Irene is the most flexible volunteer. She is ready at the call to replace another volunteer who can't keep his or her commitment. Good for you, Irene. One more and I'll be through. A couple of weeks ago, Irene came to Arthur's for a pair of walking shoes. Jeff, the store manager, waited on her and found a comfortable pair for her. When I told him about Irene's 80th birthday party, he said, quote, "You've got to be kidding. That lady has a really sharp mind, and her laughter is contagious. I can't believe she's going on 80. End quote. There you have it, Irene. It's been wonderful living diagonally across from you. Arthur joins me in sharing so many warm and wonderful memories. Happy birthday, Irene, from all of us here today for a life well spent. And best wishes for many more years of good health and happiness."
My kids were asked if they wanted to sing in front of 100 people. They simply said no. So they decided to show their love in a different way by writing a poem to their Nana. And Hannah wrote, she created a poster. What does it say?
It's a pink poster out
It's a
front.
pink, oh, Nana is the best. I love you, Nana. Nana's the best. So check it out up there. And then Braden and Hannah authored this poem by Braden and Hannah. Okay. One, two, three. N.
Nana is awesome within.
A.
Amazing spirit witches.
N.
Nice to see.
A.
Amazing Nana.
W.
Wise with her family.
I.
Intelligent in different ways, but with a
L.
lively laugh and very
K.
kind within
I.
incredible heart.
N.
Never-ending
S.
spirit.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Irene. Happy birthday to you.
A very special thank you to everyone for coming, and a very special thank you to my wonderful, wonderful children. I'm losing my voice because I'm talking too much. I have written a poem. They didn't mention that I write poems. And sometimes songs are written for me. Okay, it says, "I love to live. Today, dear Lord, I'm 80, and there's so much I haven't done. I hope, dear Lord, you'll let me live until I'm 81. But then, if I haven't finished all I want to do, would you please let me stay a while until I'm 82? So many places I want to go, so very much to see. Do you think you could manage to make it 83? And if by then I'm still alive, I'd like to make it 85. More plans will be up in the air, so I'd like to stick and see what happens to the world when I am 86. I know, dear Lord, it's much to ask, and it must be nice in heaven, but I'd really like to stay until I'm 87. I know by then I won't be fast, and sometimes I'll be late, but it would be so pleasant to be around 88. I will have seen so many things and had a wonderful time. So I'm sure that I'll be willing to leave at 89, maybe. Just one more thing I'd like to say, dear Lord. I thank you oh so kindly, but if it's okay with you, I'd love to live past 90. Now, there's a little PS to this. This was passed on to me by my daughter, Laurie, and it's a quote: "Life is in session, and I need to get on with it." And one more, I saw it on the screen, which is my belief. Remember, don't anybody tell you that old people can't have fun. I did. And again, let me say thank you ever so much for coming. That's really a surprise. And now I don't have to have the funeral. Because you've all eulogized. I'm here, and my children especially, eulogize me or ruin me. And so, yeah, this is lovely. And thank you so much, each and every one of you. And my children are the most special people in the world. And I must say, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't reach 80 if it hadn't been for my children. Because, as you know, I lost my hubby young, and they kept my family together, and we're very close, and I'm a very, very lucky mom. And thank you, folks, so much.
The birds hush their praising, and the melody do our theme song and let them all know.
About 1986, we started our show on WDEV 10:30 Saturday mornings. Now we're also on WLVB at 9 o'clock on Sunday mornings. And we have a little theme song. WDEV Radio Rangers theme song. My good friend Tony Harrison kindly wrote for us years ago. It goes a little bit like this.
an old World War II song.